Alrighty, so those of you that are just joining us, as Yolanda says, don't worry if you feel a bit overwhelmed or you feel like a bit lost. We're going to do a quick recap of what we have done, just so that everyone's on the same page. And as Yolanda said, all of the videos are recorded, so you can go onto Watobe's website and you can access the geometry videos that we have done. Alrighty. So the two reasons we looked at last week with triangles was sum of angles in a triangle. So basically the fact that all of the interior angles must add up to 180 degrees. And we looked at the fact that an exterior angle to a triangle is equal to the two opposite interior angles added together. So those were the two reasons that we had a look at. So let's just practice those and make sure we're happy with those before we move on to our first one. So this is our very first question. I actually don't want to start with that one. I'm sorry, I changed my mind. Curses of all of a sudden just making decisions. Right, that's the first one I want to start with. So that's a little bit easier. Excuse me. So guys, have a look at this. We've got X and Y that we want to find. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to do it by yourselves. I'm looking for the sides of angle X, which is this angle up in the top left over here. And then the sides of angle Y, which is sort of top right over here. So I'll give you a second. We have done all of this, so you should have your reasons to do it. There are a couple different ways you can do it, so just remember that you're writing down your reasons. If you'd like to raise your hand and give us an answer, you can by all means do that. If you aren't feeling that brave, you're welcome to pop it in the chat for us. But I want X and Y, and don't forget your reasons.
Remember, giving it a try is the best way that you can do, okay? Give it a try by yourself. Let's see some answers on the chat. If you're brave, you can raise your hands.
So guys, I'm just doing that. Okay, you can ignore question 4 if you really feel that way. I mean, you can do it, but I'm just making it a bit smaller just so that you can see what two reasons we have done, just as a quick reminder in case you need it and you need to take a screenshot. Okay, remember X and Y, and remember those reasons. Okay, who would like to answer? Because this is a recap, so I'm happy that we can have a go.
Gateko, we are all yours. Okay, Gateko, you can also put it on the chat, okay? I'm gonna go to Litabo now. Litabo.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Okay, so I wanna answer Y and X.
Okay.
Okay, so Y is equals to 50. Wait, ma'am, let me start all over.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Y plus 50 equals Y plus 120 equals 180.
Watobe, I can't quite hear you. I think that's what you said, but I'm gonna ask that you just try and try again.
Angles on a straight line. Okay, Y, it's 180 plus 120. No, it's Y plus 120 equals 180.
Okay, that's better.
And the reason is angles on a straight line.
Awesome.
So then the next step is Y equals to 180 minus 120.
Cool.
And then Y is equal to 60.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So we know y is
So
equal to 60.
yes, ma'am. And
sorry, Litabo, I think it's me who cut you short over there. It's because I see so many hands. I just want to spread some love, okay? I hope you do understand and we appreciate you giving all the answers. That's what we want. But you can put your answer for X also on the chat. Like this, I can give Palesa a chance. Palesa, you can tell us, well, how did you do your X?
So to find X, you say X plus 50 plus 60 equals 180 degrees. Sum of angles in a triangle. X is equal to 180 minus 60 minus 50. Then X is equal to 70.
Oh, okay, I'm catching up. So sorry. Very slow tonight.
Palesa,
Okay, so I absolutely 100% agree with Polesa's reasoning. Is there someone else who found X differently? Because this is 100% right, but there is another way we can do it. So does anyone want to maybe try and tell me how we could go and find X? Or what another way of finding X is, rather, I should say.
Okay, so I still see some hands. I'm gonna go to Leah. Leah, let's see if you found another way of solving X.
Oh, sorry, I just have a question.
Okay.
I want to know the exterior angle, right? Doesn't X and Y have to equal like 120?
So it's the opposite interior angle. So it's X and 50. Must give me 120.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
And Leah has actually led us into another reason that we could have used for X being exterior angle of a triangle. So as I say, the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the two opposite interior angles. So we never use the angle that's right next to the exterior angle. We always add together the other two. But either way that you do it, whether you do sum of angles in a triangle or exterior angle of a triangle for X, both are absolutely correct. As long as you put your reasons down, you will get 4 marks for both of them. Okay. Right, guys, if you still have questions, you can leave your hand up. Otherwise, please put your hand down so that we can move on to the next one. Take your screenshots. Righto. KM, do you still have a question?
I'm gonna unmute. Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to put my hand down. Just wait.
Okay. No problem. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at a second one. Oh, golly, Miss Molly. There we go. Right, let's have a look at our second one here. So again, I'm going to give you a chance to do it. I'm going to give you a minute or two. I'm wanting the value of X, and you have been given those 3 angles there. So give it a try and then put your hand up or put it in the chat when you're ready. I'm coming back to it now. I just want to have a quick look and see something. Okay, remember all your reasons. We're probably going to have to use all of the angles. So the 2x, the 65, and the x minus 5. Have a look and see how you could use all of them. And hopefully if we were listening to the last questions, that will give us a hint. Okay, remember, put your answers in the chat if you're feeling brave, or raise your hand. And guys, if you're not feeling comfortable doing like multiple steps at the same time, just remember you can write as much working out as you want. So if you're more comfortable with geometry, there might be less working out that you write down. If you're not so comfortable with geometry, you might need to write more working out down. Either one is absolutely fine.
You can do it, my plebs. You guys can do it. You're asking the right questions. Just try it by yourself, and then we can do corrections when teacher Sam goes through it with us.
Okay, should we have a look? Tabo,
think
you want?
Yeah,
Oh,
the Tabo
cool.
wants to give it a try.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello, Tabo.
So it's, ma'am, it's 2x equals to 65 plus x minus 5. And my reason is
Good.
external angles in a triangle.
Excellent. Well done. Okay,
So
keep
then
going.
we have to group the like terms. And when positive x moves to the other side of the equal, it's minus x.
Good.
So it's going to be 2x minus x equals to 65 minus 5, because the 5 didn't move.
Excellent.
So then 2x minus x is x, and 65 minus 5 is 60.
Good. Well done. Thank you, Latabo. Okay, guys. So exactly, we can see here, and that's why I said if you were listening to Leah's question earlier, hopefully it gave you a hint. We can see that this 2x is an exterior angle of the triangle, which means that if I add the two angles inside the triangle that are opposite it, so this step over here, I must get that exterior angle. So we can set up an equation to say that 2x is equal to 65 plus x minus 5 because it is an exterior angle to the triangle. And so we can then go and solve for x. Right, well done. Make sure you do your corrections, so you take screenshots. It was a slightly trickier one, but we're using exterior angles of a triangle, which we spoke about on Wednesday. So if you are new, the video is available and you can definitely go have a watch of it. Okay. Right, let's try one more before we move on to the new stuff. Okay, is that a question?
Yes, ma'am. It's a question this time, ma'am.
Mhm.
So ma'am, wouldn't 2x plus x minus 5 equal 80 by itself because it's angles on a straight line?
Okay, so remember, angles on a straight line, they have to be right next to each other. They have to be adjacent.
Oh,
So they sort of, it would need to look something like that, where they're directly next to each other so that they're angles on a straight line.
well, that explains a lot. Yeah.
I'm glad that explains a lot. Yes. So guys, that's really, really important. And KM, it's not just you. So many people do it. When we're using angles on a straight line, those angles have to be right next to each other. Okay. If they're not next to each other, we're not going to use angles on a straight line. Okay. Just quickly, because I can see Micah's question, sorry, on the chat. No, often these diagrams are not drawn to scale, so don't use your protractor to try and measure. It probably won't give you the right answer. Sometimes they are drawn to scale, but most of the time they're not, and it'll say diagrams are not necessarily drawn to scale, so you probably won't get the same answer by using your protractor. Okay, so Onati, I'm not too sure what you mean by show the mathematical reasons again. All of my reasons in working out is there. So if it's not clear, maybe just pop your hand up and you can ask. Okay. Onati?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What I meant is like the angle, like your usual around the angle and things like that. Like you showed it before we started doing this, like explaining how you got to this to this answer. Like, what are you following by? Like the one you just wrote.
Okay, I think if I'm following you. So what I'm saying is, you can tell me if I'm
No,
misunderstanding.
I mean like the ones in the brackets, like sum of angles in triangle.
Oh, there,
Can you please
exterior
show them
angle of a
again?
triangle. Oh, do you want all the reasons that we've done?
I just want to see these ones. I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, okay, so these ones over here.
Yes.
Okay. So take a screenshot of those. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Pleasure. Okay, guys, so I'd like you to have a look at that one. Give it a try. We're looking for X and Y here. Okay, I see your hand. What's up?
Oh, ma'am. Ma'am, how can the exterior angle plus the angles in the inside equal 180?
But I haven't said they're equal to 180. I said that they're equal to each other.
Oh, so they're all the same.
Yes, so this angle of 2x is equal to 65 plus x minus 5, which is what I've written down there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So they're not equal to 180, they're just equal to each other when I add the two opposite ones together. Yeah?
yes, ma'am.
Cool. Right, so guys, you can still see 3. I'm just going to move down. We're looking for X and Y here. So if you're feeling ready, you can put your hand up or pop it on the chat. I already see some awesome answers coming through. Remember your reasons for all of your statements. Give everyone another minute or so. Oh, I'm seeing lots of hands. This is awesome, guys. Well done. Okay, Linda, who is our lucky winner?
Queen. Queen.
Ooh. Oh, excuse me.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So, ma'am, what I did, ma'am, I said x plus 69 degrees equals 180 degrees, using because some angles on a triangle.
Angles on a triangle?
Ma'am, angles on a straight line.
Good.
Okay, and then I said x is equals to 180 minus 69.
Good.
Then I said, therefore, x is equals to 111.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, so guys, exactly. X is equal to 111 degrees. And the reason that we've used here is angles on a straight line. There is a different reason that you could have, which is absolutely fine, which we'll get to in a second. Who's going to give us Y? Yolanda?
Emmanuel.
Evening, everybody.
Hi. Excuse me.
So I said y equals 111 degrees minus 81 degrees. And I concluded with y equals 30 degrees.
Okay, now what's your reason for, oh gosh.
Oh yeah, sorry. Y equals 111 degrees minus 81 degrees is because what do you call it? Exterior angles.
Okay. Exterior angle of triangle. So guys, if we're not too clear, basically what Emmanuel's saying is that we know that y plus 81 degrees must give me 111 degrees because that x is the exterior angle to the triangle. So I know if I add the two opposite interior angles, I should get 111. So if you need to set it up like that to start off with, absolutely. But exactly as Emmanuel said, we can use exterior angles of a triangle to get y. Okay.
Ma'am, would I lose a mark? Ma'am, sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, would I lose a mark for not adding the first part, ma'am?
The y plus 81?
Yes, ma'am.
No, Your way is absolutely fine. I just wanted to explain where your second step came from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so guys, just so that we're all clear, there is, or rather, there are other reasons that you can use to go and find these. So you could have gone and found y using sum of angles in a triangle, and then you could have also found x by using exterior angle of a triangle. So as long as your reasons make sense with your working out, sometimes there are more than one way to do a question. And so as long as you've got all your reasons down, you will always get the marks. Okay, so excuse me, those are our two values rather for x and y. Right, if your hands are still up to answer the question, we've already got our answers, so you can lower them. If they're up to answer or ask a question, you can leave it up there.
Leah, is that a question? You can ask your question.
Yes, sorry. I just want to know, I kind of did it in a different way. I found out y first, and then I found out x. Is
That's
that still
yeah.
Okay?
So
Because I
guys,
said, yeah, I said y equals 180 minus 81 minus 69, and then I said y equals 30 degrees.
yeah,
And then I said x equals 81 plus 30 degrees, and that gives you 111 degrees.
perfect.
Because, yeah,
That's
that is on
absolutely fine.
exterior angles. Yeah. Okay,
Exactly.
thank you.
And guys, just sort of while Leah said that, now, if you don't do x first, that's fine. As long as at the end of the day, you get an answer for x and you get an answer for y with all your reasons, it doesn't matter which one you start with. Usually we try and label it in like a logical way so that if you start with x, it helps you get y. But how you see a diagram will be different to how someone else sees a diagram. As long as at the end of the day, you've got an answer for x, an answer for y, and you've done all of your reasons and you're working out, it doesn't matter where you start and how you do it, as long as all your reasons are correct.
Tando, you can ask your question.
Hi, ma'am. I just forgot to put mine down. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Alrighty, guys. Okay, so you've done some really tricky questions here. Well done. And I'm hoping that we're all feeling okay with the first two reasons that we have spoken about. Let's take a little bit of our brain break before we have a look at our, oh, golly, Miss Molly, before we have a look at our next reason that we're going to chat about. I just want you to be mindful when you have a look here that there are two paper clips here. And this is important to know because over here, we only have one paper clip. And that's all I'm going to say. For those of you that are new, basically all this is halfway through the lesson, we just take a little break because it's a lot of maths and our brains need a chance to just take a moment before we carry on. I always give like a little brain teaser as well as a maths joke. You can enjoy the joke or not, that's fine. But a little like brain teaser where we have to work something out or figure something out, whatever the case is. You're welcome to do it if you want. If not, get up, stretch, move your body. I'm sure Kendra is somewhere already stretching, and then we'll carry on with our lesson. Okay, and if you want to put answers in the chat for our brain break or our brain freeze, you are welcome to.
Okay, Cindy wants to give it a try. Oh, Cindy disappeared.
If you are wanting to give it a try, guys, please do raise your hand. Love to hear you.
Let's go, Nzalama.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm all right, and you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Can I just do the first line because I didn't do the second line?
Awesome.
Okay, so, ma'am, since you said there are two paper clips each in that line, I worked it out and I got that 2 paper clips equals to 8.
Awesome. Well done. So guys,
And-
whenever we see two, yeah, so?
And if 2 paper clips equals to 8, that means 1 paper clip equals to 4.
Perfect. Well done.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. Right, guys, exactly 2 paper clips is 8, which means 1 paper clip is 4. And so at the bottom here, I've got another 2 paper clips. So that means that I automatically know that in my last one where I'm looking for that question mark, I know that I'm timesing something by 8. Okay.
Okay, Liema, we are all yours.
Okay, ma'am, what I saw that is that the first paper clip is I divided 24 into 3 pieces, so it gave me the 8 answer. So yeah, 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals to 24.
Cool. Yeah. So we've got our paper clips, which is 8. Good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Matlole, we are all yours. Matlole, you can also put your answer on the chat, okay? I'm gonna go to Cindy. Cindy, we are all yours.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, so for the pen, I firstly said 4 times 4 because the clips of 4 is equal to 16. And then I said 23 minus 16 is equal to 7. So the pens are 7.
Good. Well done. So guys, exactly 4 times 4 is 16. And then what do I still need to add to 16 to get 23? Exactly as Cindy said, I need to add 7. So all of those pens there are 7. So we're getting closer. We just need to figure out what the scissors are.
Okay, this one will go to Rabetwe.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So, ma'am, what I got for the scissors was 9.
Do you want to explain how you got it? I agree with you though.
Ma'am, I said what I looked at what number can times by 7 and add 9 and give you 72.
Awesome. Cool. So guys, what we needed to be careful of there was that we were multiplying 7 by a value, but then we had to add that exact same value to get 72. And so as Rebecca just told us, the scissors are 9 each. Okay, so when we now do this last one, just bear in mind your order of operations, so the order in which we should be doing our work. Okay, so who wants to give me that? Oops.
Hey, Tato.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I got for the last question, I got 65.
Good. Okay, good, guys. So exactly, we first need to do the multiplication of 7 times 8 because multiplication comes before addition. So before I add the 9, I first need to do this multiplication, and that is 56. And then only do I add the 9, giving me 65. So here we're making sure that we're doing our order of work correctly. We need to do multiplication first. Well done, guys. That was quite a tricky one, so well done. Okay, so if your hands are up to answer, you can lower them. We're going to have a look now at our new reason for today. And like I say, guys, if you don't get these or struggle a little bit with them, don't stress. It's just to give your brain a little bit of a break from geometry. Righto. So this is our next reason that we're going to have a look at to do with triangles. And this reason says that if we have a triangle with 2 equal sides, the angles opposite those equal sides are then equal to each other. Now, what's quite important here is firstly, these little lines on the triangle, so on the sides of the triangle, what those little lines mean is that those two sides are equal in length, okay? So basically, if I said to you that this was 5 centimeters, the fact that those two lines have the same sort of like tick mark on them, it means that both of them are the same length. That's what that means. And exactly as Watobe said in the chat, essentially what we're working with here is an isosceles triangle because we've got two equal sides. Now, what this means is that those angles opposite those equal sides are equal to each other. So angle A is equal to angle B. And this was one of the sort of characteristics we've spoken about in an isosceles triangle. The fact that we've got two equal sides as well as two equal angles. Now, when we go and sort of write a reason for this, the reason that we're going to use here is angles opposite equal sides. The angles opposite sides that are equal are then equal to each other. Okay, so if we have a look at these little diagrams of the triangles below, we just first want to see which angles are equal. So I'm not asking you any questions. You don't even have to write this down. This is just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. If we have a look at these three triangles, I'm going to start with triangle ABC. So what we've been told is that side AB is equal to side, equal to side AC. And I can see that because of the little tick marks on the sides. And so what that means is that the angles opposite them are equal to each other. So here, angle B is equal to angle C. So in the second triangle, triangle DEF, does someone maybe want to tell me? You can pop it in the chat. Which two angles would be equal to each other in the second triangle? You can raise your hand if you want as well. Nice, I'm seeing lots of hands. Okay, Tando, do you want to tell us?
Yes, ma'am. Angle FD is the same, and FE, sorry.
Okay, so those two sides are equal to each other. I agree. So which
Yes, ma'am.
angles are then equal?
Sorry?
Which angles?
FD.
Okay, so it is the angles opposite them. So angle E is equal to angle D. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, guys. So in that case, it is the angles opposite the sides DF and EF. And so those are the angles that are equal. Right, if we look in our third triangle, I don't know my alphabet very well, GHJ, which angles are then equal in my third triangle? Zizo, tell me.
Ma'am, angle G is equals to angle H.
Awesome, well done. So guys, we see that JH, the side JH is equal to the side GJ. Those are horrible lines, I do apologize, which means that the angles opposite them are equal. So angle G is equal to angle H. Okay, so this is the relationship we're going to explore here as we start to do our next few examples. Right, so like I said, don't stress too much about getting that down. It doesn't have to be perfect. This was more just to explore how we're going to be able to see these different sort of relationships in the triangles. Okay, so let's have a look at our first example. If we have a look at question 1, the first thing we always want to check for is if we have equal sides. Now, I think most of you could probably do this quite easily, and that's absolutely fine, but I just want to walk through it. Now, we don't have labels on the triangle, which is okay, but I do see that I've got two sides that are equal to each other. And I can see that because I've got those little like tick marks on the sides. So I know that I've got two sides equal to each other. So I'm going to give you a second to think about it and see if you can tell me what X would be equal to based on the conversation we've just had. Oh, no, I'm gonna just butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Do you have a question?
No, I want to answer.
This question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me.
So, ma'am, x equals to 42, ma'am.
And your reason?
Shoot.
Okay, well, why are you telling me it's 42?
Ma'am, because the sides are equals.
Good. Exactly.
Yes,
so angles opposite equal sides. Well done.
Thank you.
You guys are doing great, my pibs. Well done.
Alrighty, guys. So we saw which sides were equal. We then saw, okay, cool. That then means that x and 42 must be the same. And because I gave you 42, we don't actually have to do any calculations. We can just say x is equal to 42. Right, so take a screenshot. If your hand is up to ask a question, leave it up. Otherwise, please put it down. We've already got an answer. We are going to have a look at more questions. I will definitely use a darker color. Let me redo that. So sorry. Oh. Now I'm panicking. There. Okay, so guys, if those hands are up, I'm assuming you have questions. Otherwise, please put it down. Sorry, Letabo, there you go. Hopefully that's dark enough.
Oh, there we go. It's only Lilita. Lilita, is that a question?
Sorry, ma'am, I forgot to put my hand down.
No problem. Okay, guys, let's see if we can have a look at this next one. So what we have here is triangle ABC. In this question, I have told you that the side AB is equal to the side BC. So I want you to take a second and think about what that means in terms of which angles are equal to each other. And then if you would like to, have a go and see at how we can find what X is. But have a think about which angles should be equal to each other. That is sort of my first question to you. Oh, and I'm seeing lots of hands, which is awesome. Oops. Okay, who's going to tell us something? I'm ready.
Okay. So who haven't we talked to? Pumzile, you can give your answer.
Evening, ma'am.
Hi.
We're solving for x, right?
Yes.
I said x plus 120 equals 180. Opposite equal sides. And then to get my x, I said 120. You said that opposite sides are equal. So I made the x into 2x, divided the 60 into two sides. So the x would be 30.
Okay, really nice. So guys, this was a little bit tricky and I haven't started writing down yet, but what Pumzile has just said is awesome. So we know that any angles opposite sides that are equal to each other. And I already saw some people on the chat already saying this. So what we see is that angle A is equal to angle C. So both of them are actually X's. And that's why Pumzile is saying, I've got 2x, because both of them are X's. And that's because of angles opposite equal sides. Now we do have to make the statement because I haven't put that X on the diagram. You first have to tell me that you know that they are equal to each other before we then carry on, right? So when you're doing geometry, sort of treats the person who's going to mark your paper as if they don't know anything about geometry. So make sure that you put everything down so that you're not losing any marks. And then this is why Pumzile then said 2x, because now we know that x plus plus 120 must give me 180 because of sum of angles in a triangle. And then we can go and say, well, therefore we have 2x plus 120 must give us 180. And so when I then use my inverse operations, I get 180 minus 120, which is where then Pumuzile was talking about the fact that we had 60 that we then still have to divide by 2, because remember we want x, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. All right, so very importantly, we first have to make the statement that angle A and angle C are equal to each other because they're the angles opposite the equal sides. And I have to say that because I didn't tell you anything about angle C. If I'd put 2 x's there, then you wouldn't have to say anything because I've given it to you. But because I hadn't, you first need to tell me that you know that they are equal. And then you could use sum of angles in a triangle to work out what x was, or is rather. Right, so if your hand's up to ask a question, please leave it up. Otherwise, you can pop your hand down.
Hey, Ayanda, is that a question?
Oh. Okay. Right, guys, I do know it's poll day, but I think we've got time for another one. So let's leave it off with these two. I'm going to give you 2-3 minutes to try those two questions. So in question 1, I'm just looking for x. And in question 2, I'm looking for x and for y. So give it a go. Put your answers in the chat when and if you're ready. You can raise your hand if you want to give us an answer, but I'm going to give you a little bit of time to have a look at those, especially question 2. It's a little bit trickier, or there's more working out you need to do rather. It's not actually too tricky, but have a look and see. Remember your reasons. Nice, guys. Keep them coming. Keep those answers coming. Liking what I'm seeing so far. Doing nice, you guys. Oops, I'm sorry. Remember to make sure that you're sure of which sides you're working with and which sides are equal, and so which angles are equal. Nice, guys. Okay, Linda, I think we might be ready. Seen lots of answers coming through.
We are ready. I'm going to start with Tando. Tando, you can give your answer.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
For x, I got 48. X is equal to 48. Opposite angles, equal sides.
Awesome. Oh, very slow today. Okay, guys, exactly. We see that we've got our two sides that are equal in length, which means that the angles opposite them are equal in size. And so x is equal to 48. Awesome. Well done. Okay, who is next?
Kelly. Kelly, I'm coming to you.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
For question 2, I said that x is equal to 40 degrees because of angles opposite equal sides.
Good.
And then I said, oh, thank you. I said 180 minus 80 equals y. And then I got y is equal to 100.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to set it up a little bit differently just in case everyone's not 100% sure. Because I now know what x is, guys, I know that y plus x, so plus 40, plus the other 40, should give me 180 degrees. And that is because of sum of angles in a triangle. So remember your reason. Oh, that's an ugly looking triangle, sorry. From that point, we can then go solve for y. So this is why we said minus 80, because we would subtract two 40s, and 180 minus 40 is 100 degrees. So y in this case is 100. Well done.
My pubes. You guys did well.
Okay, so guys, make sure you screenshot that if you need. If your hands are still up to ask a question, you can leave them up. Otherwise, you can pop them down. I think we might even have time for one more, so you might get a chance. Let's see which ones I have here. Oh, panic. Ayanda, do you have a question? No? Okay. Right, I think we got time for one more, guys. Let's do it. Let me just pick a nice one. Let's do this question over here. So now you've got X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then I'm going to give you the answer so you can mark. And then it is poll day, so you'll have about 5 minutes to do the poll before we say goodnight. Remember all your reasons. And you're looking for X, Y, and Z here. Okay, guys, remember, parallel lines, if you're going to use corresponding alternate or co-interior, parallel lines will have the little arrowheads on it. These lines have the tick mark. So these lines are equal in length to each other. I'm not saying that they're parallel to each other. I'm saying that they're equal to each other. Ooh. I'm going to give you another minute or so. If you're really struggling, I'm going to give you a hint and say, think about whether X and Y might be equal to each other and why they might be equal to each other. I've already drawn on the diagram that we've got some equal sides there. And don't worry if you're struggling a bit with this. It is a little bit tricky. But like I say, my advice, if you are stuck, I've given you equal sides. So that must mean that I need to use those equal sides if I've given it to you. Okay, guys, I don't want anyone to be late for dinner or anything. So let's have a look. If you're stuck, don't stress. You're going to do the answers now and you can take a screenshot. So I see some beautiful answers coming through. Because we know that those two sides are equal, we know that the angles opposite them are equal in size. So what I actually know is that angle X is equal to angle Y. And that is because of angles opposite equal sides. And remember, I have to make the statement because I'm now going to assume that they're both equal. So I have to say that they're equal and why they're equal. From that point, if you really wanted to, you could change the y to an x or the x to a y. It doesn't really matter as long as you're working with two of the same angles. Because now we know, and I'm just going to work with two x's here. I know that x plus 50 must give me 180 degrees because of sum of angles in a triangle. I know that if I add all three angles up, in a triangle, I have to get 180 degrees. Now again, I'm just using X here because I know X and Y are the same. So I can make the variables the same because I've made the statement that X is equal to Y. And then I know that 2X is equal to 180 minus 50. So I would have 2X is equal to 130. I need to divide both sides by 2, which means that X in this case is equal to 65. Now, how you then go and choose to do Z is completely up to you. So I know both of those angles are 65. Z, you can either do angles on a straight line, or you can do exterior angle of a triangle. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to use exterior angle of a triangle because we're using triangles here. I know that this outside angle is equal to the two opposite inside angles added together. So the 50 and the 65. So Z is equal to 50 plus 65 degrees because of exterior angle of triangle. And so, whoopsie, Z is equal to 115. Write things down.
Oh, sorry, I just ran the, I hope you don't mind. I ran the power case. Okay.
Okay. So, Latabo, yes, if you used Y, it would still be right as long as you've made this first statement up here that X is equal to Y. Absolutely. But guys, that's why I said, hint, look at which sides are equal to each other so you know which angles are equal to each other, and then you can go and use the reasons that you've learned. So you'll see that Yolanda's run the poll, I think.
Yes, I've been running my poll, so please guys take charge. Vote on how your class was so that it can help future STEM next Wednesday when we meet. You guys did really good, by the way.
Okay, if those hands are up to ask a question, you can leave it up. I've got 2 minutes, I can help you. Otherwise, you can put your hand down. We've answered the question here. So just make sure you take your screenshots.